Well, as you can see, I've got my hairspring. Well, it's obviously not a hairspring. It's a spring out of one of those 3 movements that I said I had down here in my workshop. 2 of the movements were in pretty good shape. In fact, they're fairly modern. But this old movement that I had, the oldest one, it was the kind that in the fall, if you wanted to turn your clock back 1 hour because of daylight savings time, you had to actually go ahead 11 hours if you wanted to have the gong right. If you just turned it back an hour, it would gong 2 hours ahead. It's just the way it was made. Poor design. Anyway, I realized I'm never ever going to put this movement back into the original case. The original case was a mantle clock. It's sitting in my daughter's house right now with a battery movement in it. Keeps perfect time, and you only have to fiddle with it once every 2-3 years. So, okay, we got our hairspring. And this shaft here is actually just a spike. And a bit of a tip for you, if you ever need, fairly good shafts, nails and spikes are really easy to turn down. Now I know that they're kind of soft. If you need a really tiny little shaft for something, a needle makes a really good shaft. Or a pin if you need a really, really tiny little shaft. Anyway, enough about shafts. I think tomorrow I'll go out and I'll try and get a piece of rod. This is approximately 1/4 of an inch, a little bigger in diameter, and I need something about 3/8 so that I can just really wedge it into the hole. So it'll be a nice tight fit. Right now it's kind of tight enough, but not quite. And then I'll get experimenting with the balance wheel. Can't really do a whole lot until I know how many oscillations it does per minute. Once I know that, then I can go ahead and figure out the gear train and the rest of it. Now I know I could probably guess what it's going to be and go ahead and start on the gear train and then adjust the diameter of the balance wheel accordingly to make it, faster, slower, whatever. Anyway, I really don't have a whole lot to show you, and I think right now is a really good time to tell you if you're expecting to see something at the end of this project that's going to be really nice, forget it. It's probably going to be big and clunky and ugly, and it's going to be the kind of thing that my kids are going to say when they come to clean up the house, my goodness, why did Dad keep this? How are we going to get this out of here? Who are we going to hire to take this apart to throw out? That's going to be that kind of thing. It's just going to be really interesting to me. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Grandpa and Grandma, but in this, like this, your clock is sort of living on. Instead of just sitting in a coffee tin on my workbench. Thanks for watching.